Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a trying newer makeup, hyped makeup. So I want to show you kind of some products that I've seen hyped all around. Some of them I've tried myself maybe a handful of times, and then some of them are brand new to me. The main thing is the new Blue Blood palette. I literally just got this a few days ago. It took forever. I ordered it from Beauty Bay. So I want to do like a kind of like a light blown out pastel blue look. I want to keep trying out the Dewy Skin Cream. This is very hyped. Anything Tasha is hyped. Also the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, this Tarte face tape. I tried it a couple times and I haven't worn it recently. Also been getting a lot of questions about the new Cover FX monochromatic blush duos. I believe I'm going to use this bronzer one to kind of try the bronzer out, let you know what I think, and then also a blush one as well. I have this Wet n Wild highlighter and I'm So Lit. I know a lot of people rave about this, and then I have the Born This Way concealer. So some of these products are brand new. I've never tried. Some of them I'm still kind of testing out, and I want to see my final thoughts on them because a lot of you asked me, do I recommend these products? And I'm still just on the fence. I'm not sure. So I want to keep trying them out. I want to demo them for you guys, and we'll see what we think. So if you want to see some new makeup tested as well as some really hyped up makeup, then let's go ahead and get started. All right, zoomed in, and now I'm going to start with this Dewy Skin Cream from Tasha. People go bananas over Tasha products. I've kind of been in the camp of so-so. I don't dislike them, but I don't understand some of the hype. So I'm going to go ahead and use this as my moisturizer. This is is this the Dewy Skin Cream? Yes. So I went through an entire water, I think it's their water skin cream that I bought way back. And that was more of like a gel light moisturizer. This one definitely has, I don't want to say a slip to it. It's just very moisturizing. When you're applying it, you can feel it's really, it's not, I wouldn't say it's thick. It's just really, really hydrating. I would say if you're oily, you probably wouldn't enjoy this. I'm combo. I like to kind of focus it out here, not really on my T-zone. So I like to really kind of go in on my forehead where I do get dry. But it feels nice. It has a nice light scent to it. From what I've noticed, I haven't broken out, which is like my main concern. But I just don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm kind of in between just trying it and still kind of getting my thoughts about it. But it feels nice. I just, with the Tasha products, they're very expensive. So if it's not doing anything kind of crazy different for my skin or my makeup, I'm hesitant to really like rave about it. Next up, I have the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I have been hearing so much about this. Now, I've only used it a couple of times. I have to be honest, when I first got it, I was really excited, and then I read somewhere that it had denatured alcohol very high up on the ingredients, and I was like, why? Like, that's really drying for your skin. It kind of turned me off. I've been having issues recently, specifically right here with my foundation not sticking. And I thought, let me just pull this back out. Maybe it'd be something that I would use kind of when I need my foundation to last a long time or for special occasions. I'm not like crazy about ingredients a lot of the time, but I know that denatured alcohol is not good for you and it's super high up. So it kind of turned me off a little bit. If you know any more about that, comment down below. But I'm going to go ahead and try this with you guys and kind of get my thoughts. I did wear it yesterday. So it is a gel. I feel like it's so weird. Like, I used to feel like my T-zone was where my makeup wouldn't stick to. And now I feel like it's right here. I notice like patchiness. My foundation will just not stick. Like, I keep packing it on and it's just not sticking for whatever reason. So this definitely has a tack to it. It's not as intense as the Cover FX Gripping Primer. This is a little bit more hydrating. It kind of has like that gel slip and then a tack. So if you kind of want something, like if you've tried the Cover FX and you feel like, wow, that's really, really tacky, this is kind of in between. But again, if you care about skincare, that denatured alcohol, I mean, it's not good for your skin from what I hear. For pores, I'm going to go in with my little mini Tasha Silk Canvas. I got this as a point perk because I tried this previously and I just, again, wasn't losing my mind over it. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some. I know you're supposed to take a little bit, so that should be enough for my entire face. I'm going to apply this in my T-zone where I do have the most pores. For foundation, I want to go in with the Tarte Face Tape. I tried this for a video and I really enjoyed it, and I thought that I looked, you know, really good. It wore pretty well all day. I was quite impressed, and then I had a bad breakout. And I'm realizing now that my breakouts are mostly hormonal. From what I heard from the dermatologist and just the timing of them, they're hormonal, meaning that like topical products aren't really causing them most of the time. Because I have cystic acne, it's hormonal. So it's just kind of like when my period comes or stress, it's within me. So I kind of got scared because I got a big breakout like a day after I tried this or a couple days after, and I thought, oh my God, did that break me out? But I really, looking back, I think I was just kind of being cautious. So I want to keep trying this out because I really did like the way it looked on my skin. It lasted very well. So I'm going to take a couple pumps. I have the shade 29N Light Medium Neutral, and we're just going to start applying. So what I remember about this is that it has a pretty good coverage. I would say medium buildable to full. You can see I'm not really working hard. It does have that Shape Tape scent, which I don't love. I never realized the scent on this until I did the review, and I was like, wow, that's a strong scent, because when you're stippling it all over, you really smell it. And then I pulled out a concealer and I smelled it and I was like, oh my God, it's the same scent. It seems stronger to me in the foundation, and I'm not sure if that's just because I am applying it all over, but I do want to know if you're sensitive to fragrance. This is kind of like on the same wavelength as like a Dior foundation. Definitely has a fragrance, which I think I would have rather it not. So this is what it looks like with 2 pumps. It's very easy to get the coverage you want, which is something that I enjoy. It doesn't feel super drying or matte like a lot of foundations, like a double wear or something like that. This is kind of in between. I'm wondering what the actual claims are on this, because to me this is it's kind of in the middle. It's skin-like, but with a higher coverage. A lot of times the foundations with high coverage to me seem very matte, and then the lighter coverage seem dewy. This is kind of in between. My neighbor just started mowing their lawn, so we're just gonna have to roll through that. I'm gonna move on to concealer. I'm gonna go in with the Too Faced Born This Way Sculpting Concealer in Vanilla. A lot of people went crazy over this. They still do. So I thought, let me just try it some more. So I'm just gonna apply right under the eye. I feel like this is a good staple product from what I remember. This is what you can expect after applying that concealer. So I feel like it's a nice concealer, good staple if you have super dry under eyes. I don't think it's drying. It has a good, I would say a good coverage. I would say full, you can build it to full. For some reason, I just never reach for it. I'm not sure why, but I feel like it's a good staple product I see everybody raving about. So I feel like if you pick it up, you will enjoy it. I have this little mini Fenty Beauty setting powder in butter. Now I did a review on Fenty Beauty a while ago, and I ended up returning this powder because I just didn't feel like it was my favorite, but I had a little mini, so I thought, you know what, let me just try it for this video because I feel like these are hyped. A lot of people really love them. So I'm going to use this to set my under eye and my T-zone. So the last time I used this product, I felt like I looked, oh, is it already grabbing? I just felt like I looked a little bit dry, and I almost had like a tightening feeling. So I'm going to give it another try and just kind of apply it underneath the eye. I'm going to quickly jump off camera and do my brows, and then we will jump back in and start in on the Blue Blood palette. Brows are on. We're going to jump into the Blue Blood palette. For my first time using it, I kind of want to do something a little bit more, you know, spring and soft. I don't want to go into like the super deep shades just because I'm a little intimidated. This is a huge palette, by the way. So I think I'm going to start off first with the shade right up here in the middle, and I'm going to kind of blend this through my crease. So as I said, I just got this couple days ago. It did take forever to get here, which I was kind of like annoyed with. I tried to buy it on his website and there was just like too much traffic, and I literally tried for like 20 minutes and I just couldn't get through, so I went to Beauty Bay. This looks pretty pigmented though, and nice. Now I want to go into the shade Blue Blood, and I just want to kind of go a little bit lower and intensify the crease. This shade is really pretty. So going back into that first brush and just kind of blending everything together. I feel like with looks like this, I'm going to have to bronze a lot just because blue. Right now I'm feeling, you know, Mimi vibes. All right, next I want to go up into Minty. And I just want to kind of go over the top of this. Let me know down below if you've tried this palette. I honestly haven't worked with these shades. Oh my god, I look like Mimi. I haven't worked with these shades in, I can't even remember, so this is new to me. Next, I want to jump into Blue Monday. I'm just going to use this to kind of deepen up the inner and outer corner, keeping it pretty low. Jumping into this icy white shade. All right, I popped on some liner and lashes. I'm wearing Saucy Lashes in Shortcake. I've never worn these before, but they're nice. They're dramatic, but they're not super long. I mean, I guess they are long, but for me, usually like super long ones are like touching my brow. So I do like these. I'm going to move on to the face just for a minute. I want to bronze up the skin because I feel like I'm looking, you know, kind of washed out. So I'm going to go into this Cover FX Monochromatic Bronzer Duo. These are their new matte and shimmer duos. This is Sun-Kissed Bronze. So you can see here you have a shimmery side and then a matte side. I wanted to demo this because a lot of you were asking. Here's the thing, these are beautiful, but the shimmer sides are not going to work as highlights for everyone, if that makes sense. This is definitely a duo of a shimmer bronzer and a matte bronzer. I almost wish they would have done like a bronzer and then a highlight corresponding, same with the blushes, because you're gonna have to like a shimmery blush or you're only gonna use half of the product, if that makes sense. I'm gonna demo them both, but I go in very lightly with the shimmer because obviously shimmer kind of makes your texture look bad. So we're gonna start with the bronzy side and I'm gonna use that to warm up the face. So I'm just using this IT Cosmetics brush. I switched to a smaller brush. I always see people bronzing with big brushes. Sometimes I feel like when you're trying to be more precise, it can be a little bit difficult. I'm going to take a tiny bit of this shimmery side and just lightly apply this. For blush, I'm going to go into this Cover FX Duo. This is in Soft Peach. I feel like peach will work well with the eyes that we have going on, but I don't want to go too heavy as I pack this on. Didn't I say I was doing a natural look? Oops. So I'm going to actually pull this up and then also over. To brighten up kind of under my contour, my bronze, I'm using the Scott Barnes powder in the shade, is it Petal? Okay, there's not a name on here, but I think it's Petal. So I'm just using this. Okay, so I'm gonna let that kind of bake just to brighten up, and I'm gonna start on the lower lash line. I think I'm gonna go into the shade Blue Monday. This is probably my favorite shade I've used today. And I'm going to keep this pretty tight. I'm going to go about halfway over. I'm not experiencing a ton of fallout. I didn't use like super, super dark shades, but I'm kind of surprised. Next, I'm going to jump into Blue Blood, and I'm going to use that right here. And now I'm going to go into Undertaker, which is like the deepest shade in the palette. I'm going to run this out here just to really deepen that up. And then now I'm going to go into I'm Cold. For the waterline, I'm going to use a favorite of mine. This is the Marc Jacobs Deja Blue. I use this with a lot of different looks, but I feel like you have to use it because it is like a baby blue. For highlighter, I'm going to go into the Wet n Wild I'm So Lit. I've tried, I think it's called Written in the Stars, and I really liked it. These are super intense, loose highlighters. So I'm just going to use a tiny little brush. I am going to wet it before, and then I'm going to pretty much apply it all over. So I'm gonna wipe away that powder that I had kind of to brighten. I'm gonna line my lips with this Pat McGrath lip liner and contour. I really love it, but I haven't used it recently, so I'm gonna go ahead and overline my lips because that's what I do. For lipstick, I'm gonna go into the OG color. This is a matte liquid lipstick from Persona Cosmetics. And then just because I feel like I want to lighten this a little bit, I'm going into my oldie but goodie. This is Beauty Nudite. This is a beautiful gloss. It's a really pale nude. It's creamy, but it has a little bit of shimmer in there. I haven't worn this in so long. And then to set the face, I'm going to use the Glow Recipe Watermelon Mist. I really like this. The only thing I will say is that this goes fast. Because it's so fine, you kind of have to get it like right up on your face. So it goes fast. That's what I will say. I feel like I would go through a bottle. If I use this every day, I would go through it quite quickly. But I do like it. It's nice and refreshing. Kind of melds your powders in. Alright guys, so here is the finished makeup look, and I have to say that I really enjoy everything that I use today. I feel like there's a reason that a lot of these products are hyped. There's not something in the bunch that I really don't like. The only thing I will say about a couple of the products is the Tatcha products I do like. I just think they're so expensive. It's not a necessity. If you can't afford the silk canvas, I would definitely go for the e.l.f. Poreless Putty. The Dewy Skin Cream is beautiful, but there's also different options like the Pixie Rose Flash Balm I feel like is kind of comparable in how it gives you that moisture on your skin. I do like the Hydro Grip Primer from Milk, but the denatured alcohol is a little bit iffy for me. It's not something I think that I would use every day just because I know that can be drying to the skin. Definitely really love these highlighters. I would recommend these over the ABH ones. I actually bought two of the ABH ones and I would prefer this one. It's just more finely milled. And I mean, it's like $4. So definitely recommend this as well. I like the Glow Recipe Mist, but again, I feel like you're going to go through it quickly. So it's something that I would use for special occasions, or just know that you're going to have to repurchase often and it's not cheap. The Too Faced Born This Way concealer I feel like is a staple for a lot of people, and I can see why. It's not drying at all and it has a decent coverage. It's comparable to the Shape Tape. Maybe the Shape Tape has a little bit more coverage, but I really do like it. I'm not sure why I don't reach for it. And the Blue Blood palette blended beautifully for me. The mattes blended beautifully, which is what I used mostly. And I was a little bit nervous just because blues can be really tricky, but honestly, it blended really nicely. I didn't have any issues. So overall, everything is a win here. It's just a matter of, do you want to splurge? You don't have to. And I think that's what I want to get across is, if you hear all the hype and you're like, oh my God, everybody, you know, wants a Tatcha primer, you don't need it. There's other options. So comment down below your experience with any of these products. Also, if there's anything in this video that you want to try, but maybe it's out of your budget, comment down below and I'll give you kind of some alternatives. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new here, I would love for you to stick around and subscribe. We do a lot of makeup content around here, and I'll see you guys in the next video.